Ravi?
Sir, they might have some other important work to do.
Might be, might be.
Yes, sir, I don't know because I am not in touch with them.
Yes, yes, yes. I understand. It's okay, Ravi. So, what we have to do, we have to learn about non-performing assets, right? First, we must
Yes, sir.
understand what are non-performing assets. Its one sentence formula is that when any asset stops performing for a bank, it becomes non-performing asset, right? Now, non-performing assets, you see, here it is written according to current provisioning norms. If customer is not paying either principal or installment within 90 days of the due date of the payment, account of that customer is termed as NPA. Means if any loan is due for say today is 3rd of June. So say any loan is due, Ravi, you have taken any loan, right? And for that loan,
Yes, sir.
EMI is due on 3rd of June. Now if you are not paying on 3rd of June, so that on that very date, 3rd of June, your account will be declared as overdue.
Yes, sir.
Got it? Earlier it was due,
Yes, sir.
3rd June was due date, but now it is overdue. So if overdue exceeds by 90 days, means if your account becomes overdue for more than 90 days, just after 90 days that account will be declared as NPA, non-performing asset.
So, sir, is there any legal action against any
Yes,
account
yes,
holder that is termed
yes,
as NPA?
yes, all the things are there, we'll be discussing, don't worry, all the things are there.
Okay, sir.
The thing is, Ravi, what happens that say when any bank gives you loan, so that is asset
Yes,
for the
sir.
bank,
Yes, sir.
that is termed as standard asset. Means that asset which does not contain any type of any chance of default, that is considered as NPA, non-performing asset. Sorry, NPA I am saying.
The standard assets.
Yes, standard asset, they are not considered as NPA. I should not say they should considered as NPA, rather they should not be considered as NPA, they are standard assets. Now what happens?
Yes, sir, because
Yes, that when
yes, sir.
any account becomes overdue for more than 90 days, so just after 90 days your account is termed as NPA, right? And those standard assets are converted into substandard assets. So now here you see, first thing, this is your loan thing. When bank was loaning you, then that was standard asset for the bank. But when bank saw that no, I am not getting any type of interest, either interest or principal, means there is any type of default, so bank will convert that into this one after 90 days, substandard asset. And from here, journey of NPA will start. From here,
Okay, sir. So, sir, the NPA is tagged from the substandard assets to the loan assets.
yes. NPA means account is NPA, even if it is substandard, even if it is doubtful, even if it is loss. Now see, the thing is that suppose any bank has given you loan. The time it has given you loan, that will be termed as standard asset.
Okay, sir.
Right? Now suppose on the due date you are not paying your EMI. So that will become overdue. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
On that date it will become overdue. Now 90 days will be taken into account. 90 days will be taken into account, and then your standard asset will be termed as substandard asset.
Okay, sir.
Means these three are different parts. 2, 3, 4. These are different parts of NPAs. Account will become NPA on the 90th day of being declared as overdue, if anything is not being paid. Right?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So the thing is, here we are taking into account one thing. अरे, रीता मौसी का फोन रिसीव करेगी, उस पे नहीं है भाई। अरे यार, इस पे आएगा, क्लास ले रहे हैं ना, उस पे की थी, आप सुनी नहीं। सुनिए, लाइए 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 मिल लाइए लाइए मिला कैसे यार। Hello. Now it is being converted. The status will be first standard asset, then status will be converted into substandard asset. Then again, for a definite time, substandard asset will be there in the books of banks. Then that substandard asset will be converted as doubtful asset. Then again, after some time, that doubtful asset will be converted into loss asset. See, for every type of asset, starting from second, third, and fourth, banks have got their provisioning norms. Right? Even for second,
Yes, sir.
even for second, some provision has to be maintained. You might remember provisions when we used to make in accounts. So what used to happen? Provisions we used to write in PL debit side, because of which our profits reduced.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So the same thing is there. Now say if any bank is giving loans of 1,000 crore rupees. So Ravi, just imagine that asset of that bank will increase by 1,000 crore rupees. Yes.
Yes, sir.
But see, the stark reality is that banker must get that amount back also. Then only 1,000 crore rupees there are with the bank, otherwise not. So in that case, what is there, that the loans are there, the assets are there, but when those assets fall into the category of second, third, or fourth, that is substandard or doubtful or loss. So RBI has given norm that there should be some provision. Even in case of substandard asset, there must be some provision. Even in case of doubtful assets, there must be some provision. And even in case of loss assets, there must be some provision. Got it?
So, sir, yes, sir. I have a query. So,
Yes.
sir, if bank starts making provisions for the loans that they would be given to the people, so,
Yeah.
sir, ultimately that will reduce the potential, like the potential capability of bank
Yeah,
to
not
loan the
potential
amount.
capability, rather profitability, I would say.
Sir, how profitability?
Profitability, that reduces profitability. Means if you are showing provision in your PL accounts, your profitability will reduce or not?
Oh, okay, sir. Yes, sir. The provisions are made out of profits. Okay, sir.
Yes, so it is RBI's instruction that if you have given loan at that type of place from where you cannot get it back, or you are facing problem,
Okay,
so
sir.
that is your problem, not RBI's problem. So RBI says that if you have done this, then maintain proper provision for that.
Okay, sir.
Got it? Now that thing is okay.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Now that thing is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the clear picture you see here? Standard assets are those assets which do not contain any chance of default. Yes? Ravi?
Yes, sir.
They are not
Yes, sir.
considered as NPA. Now, the time a particular asset becomes NPA, banks wait for 12 months. जहां एनपीए हुआ बैंक्स 12 महीने वेट करेंगे. And when no amount is being recovered from that account, the account will be termed as substandard asset. उस अकाउंट को तुरंत क्या मान लेंगे? सब स्टैंडर्ड असेट मान लेंगे.
Okay, sir.
If the account is substandard for more than 12 months, so there is a different journey which we'll be discussing. Don't worry, we'll be coming to that. You must get 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 things you have got or not?
Yes, sir. I got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
These 4 things you have got. Then rest of the things I'll be discussing. I'm just discussing. Now, Ravi, yes, we have to see this now. Provisioning norm, so better will be to see it here only, right? What happens, Ravi?
Yes, sir.
That substandard assets are there, but in doubtful assets there are 3 subcategories. Means 3A, 3B, 3C, 3 things are there. 1, 2, 3, 4 is not straight like this. Rather, it would have been written third, then parts D1, D2, D3, then fourth, loss asset.
Okay, sir.
What happens that your account is termed as, say, substandard. Right? Now, substandard, if your account is substandard for 12 months, try to understand. If your account is substandard for 12 months, that will be classified as D1. You see here, D1.
Okay, sir.
In doubtful, there are 3 categories, D1, D2, D3. Now, for next 24 months means if 12 more months are added into that, means your account has been treated as D1. Now again 12 months will be counted from D1. Total it will become 24 months because 12 for D1
yes,
and
sir.
12 after D1. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So then that will be categorized as D2. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And then from D2 it comes to D3 category after 12 months. Means 12 months is taken into account, and then it comes to D3 category. After D3 category, the categories of loss assets, as you would have seen. So if any loan is being declared as loss asset, it means that bank is declaring that now this amount is my total loss, and I am not able to recover even a single amount from that. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear or not? So
Yes,
this
sir, it
is
is clear.
what the current anatomy of NPAs is. This is how banks declare NPAs. Now you would be questioning that, sir, when declaration of NPA is done at this stage, initially only, then what's the use of studying all these things? Doubtful and loss. Ravi?
Sir, yes, sir. The reason could be like bank are waiting for some time, like giving a chance or giving a possibility.
Yes, banks declare as NPA in books, but even in that, banks have given some phases that now your account is in this phase, now your account is in this phase, right? Now pay early. Now this is the mechanism of banks. Now what RBI does, RBI says, okay, you have put your account in this mode, so maintain some provision, as I am telling. provision commensurate to that particular category of asset.
Okay, sir.
Right? Provision for substandard asset, provision for doubtful, provision for loss assets, all those things are there. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So now we'll be starting provisioning norms. These are the things which are written, that what are the problems which banks face when they have a huge amount of NPAs. Right, Ravi? You see, while making the provisions, two things are taken into account. Now, what are those things? Passage of time, that is the time from when the bank has not received any type of income from the customer. First thing. Then second thing, realizable value of the security, means the security which the person has given if the loan is secured. So what is the realizable value of that security? That is also taken into account. Right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, the first step is this, that there is no provisioning required for standard assets. Any provisioning required? No. Ravi, you tell me, any provisioning is
No,
required?
sir. No, sir. No
No.
provision.
Provisioning norms start from substandard, doubtful and asset. For these three, provisioning norms are there. So even substandard, two categories are there: secured assets and unsecured assets. Try to understand, Ravi. Even in substandard assets, there are two subcategories. One is of secured assets and another one is of unsecured assets.
Yes, sir.
You see the definition here: those substandard assets whose realizable value of the security is not more than 10% of the outstanding dues. Try to understand here that you had given, say, security of your papers of your house, and value of that is 3 crore rupees.
Okay, sir.
Right? Now, your dues, 10% of your outstanding dues are even more than that. In that case, your account will be termed as unsecured asset.
Okay, sir.
Those substandard assets whose realizable value of the security is not more than 10% of the outstanding dues, those are termed as what? Unsecured assets. And for these assets, provisioning norm is what? Is done at 20% of the outstanding dues. Provisioning is done at 20% of the outstanding dues. मतलब अगर आपका कुछ अमाउंट बकाया है तो उसका 20% का टोटल बैंक के बहुत सारे होंगे, will be in crores of rupees. So 20% of
Yes,
that
sir.
will be provisioning norm. That is for unsecured assets, and for secured asset, provisioning norm is 10% of the outstanding dues. Same thing is there. Now for secured assets, provisioning norm is 10% of the outstanding dues, and for unsecured asset, provisioning norm is 20% of the outstanding dues. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now we'll see provisioning norm in D1, D2 and D3 category. Just a second. Provisioning norm in D1, D2 and D3 categories. For substandard you have seen. Now for doubtful we are seeing. For in doubtful, there are three subcategories: D1, D2, and D3. You know. So for D1, the provisioning norm is 20% of the realizable value of the security plus 100% of the shortfall in security. What is shortfall? The amount of loan which you have taken and the security which you have given. The difference between that is shortfall. If realizable value of security goes even below that, try to understand. The security which you have put with the bank, if a realizable value of that security goes even below that, that is considered as shortfall. Got it? Ravi, are you getting? Hello, Ravi. Am I audible? Hello. Hello. I have got one.
Hello.
Minute. Yes, Ravi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Ravi, here provisioning norm for D1, D2, and D3, these things have been given. Right?
Oh, yes, sir.
You are listening me?
Yes, sir. I was listening you, sir. The D1 and D1 is completed, sir.
D1
You
is?
just told me about the D1. Yes, sir.
It's clear to
You just. Yes, sir. It is clear to me. You just told me about it.
Okay. See, realizable value of security means security which you have put with the bank. Now, if that security
Yes.
is sold in market, so how much the bank will get? That is the realizable value of the security. Right? And shortfall
Yes, sir.
is the amount of loan which you have taken and the amount of security which you have given. Difference between these two is termed as shortfall. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now in that case, for D1, for D2 and for D3, these three provisioning amounts are there. Now when your asset reaches to this level, means D3, it passes D1, D2, D3, means now chances are that you won't get the amount back. Now in case of D3, provisioning of 100% of the loan amount is required. Suppose loan of 50 lakh was given to you by the bank. Now at that time 50 lakh will be declared as D3 if you have not given even the first EMI. Right? Now after that, from D1, D2, D3, now when bank says that now it is a loss asset, then what to do? For loss asset, what should be the provision? The same thing.
Sir, the total. Yes, sir. The total amount of the loan.
Which you have already done in D3. Got it? The same provisioning will be there for loss asset. Are you getting it or not? The same provisioning. So what we have seen the different types of assets which are categorized by banks after giving loan. Sometime that it can become always a standard asset, means every EMI is being paid on right date, right time. If it is not being paid on right date or right time, then after that 90 days will be calculated and this journey will start. Just after 90 days, your account will be declared as NPA, but then journey will start for accounting purposes. For like, it will be categorized as different things, and for different things, different provisioning norms are there. Right, Ravi? So now it is clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Great. So tomorrow we'll meet with another topic, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ravi. And if there is any problem regarding this, I am sending this file to you. If there is any problem regarding this one, then do let me know tomorrow. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.